tünetéssel, amikor a műszaki-implementáson, tehát a végletes eszközrendszerben és tessék különbözni párhuzamos
Sorry, I once again ask you to take your seat. We would like to start. Thank you. Here. So once again, good morning, Excellencies, Ministers, Delegates, dear participants for the 10th session of the meeting of the parties of the Water Convention. As we know, we are here to talk about water, about cooperation, and about healthy, environmentally friendly environment. We are here to focus our attention on transboundary waters. We know that more than 310 transboundary river basins and an estimated 468 transboundary aquifers are shared between the two or more countries. During the last meeting of parties of the Water Convention, many delegates recognized that the Convention of an essential intergovernmental platform and a forum for dealing with the transboundary water issues that has helped to strengthen political will, exchange the best practices and lessons learned, identify and address emerging issues together, support the adoption and the implementation of the arrangements and establishment of joint bodies, and thus ultimately accelerate transboundary water cooperation. So we are here to analyze up-mentioned activities and plan our future work, what we plan to do during next work period, 2025-2027, and I wish all the success to you for this discussion here during next 3 days. Having said that, I would like to start our meeting with a high-level segment and ask our high-level representatives to take a floor. But first, we expect to have a video overview about Slovenia and that their perspectives, please. Videos should be on screen.
Listen, traveler, it's too late to go back now. The forests have filled your lungs. Rivers run in your heart. You have set the course for the land so green and abound with unspoilt nature that you will never be the same. You have come to Slovenia to live hand in hand with these natural riches is a deep-rooted gratitude locals feel every day. The respect for nature shows in the way we think, live, and do. Slovenia Green is a unique story and a great lesson in sustainability for the rest of the world. It began with a pledge to preserve the pristine nature for us and for you. We set out on a long, steep path and became active guardians of our natural heritage. Local communities and tourist providers have all come together to build a unique model of sustainability in tourism. Over a decade, we put together a visionary policy that nurtures everyone by the table. Today, we are one of the world's greenest destinations. We encourage you to visit us by train, bike, or on foot. On your way, you will come to understand why we included the right to clean drinking water in our Constitution. We believe in responsible observation of the mysterious wildlife. The inhabitants of our ancient forests can teach us all how important it is to protect our planet. When your step becomes heavy, it is time to rest. We think green accommodation should be as close to stars, birds, and trees as possible. We believe in the green inspiration from one generation to another, from one traveler to another. It comes with a view that overwhelms. To know how to listen to a tree is for us a way of traveling too. You can never cross the same stream, walk the same forest path twice. Our commitment and enthusiasm for sustainable tourism have been contagious. Today we stand united, together with you, dear traveler, under the vision of Green Slovenia.
Thank you, Slovenia, for that video. That was very interesting, and we have a good view over the country and the waters. But now I would like to follow with our high-level segment, so that first of all I would like to ask here Prime Minister of Slovenia, His Excellency Mr. José Novak, to open the meeting. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Spoštovana gospa izvršna sekretarka Ekonomske komisije Združenih narodov Evrope, gospa podpredsednica Zambije, ministri, ekscelence, visoki gostje, gospe in gospodje. Dobrodošli v Sloveniji, v deželi, kjer se Mediteran najbolj severno zajeda v Evropo. Smo na sončni strani Alp, med mediteranskim in črnomorskim povodjem. Del tega ste videli na videu. Dobrodošli pri nas. Dovolite, da najprej upravičim odsotnost našega predsednika vlade, dr. Roberta Goloba, ki je danes želel biti z nami, a je imel nujen obisk pri ameriškemu predsedniku Joe Bidenu v Washingtonu. Prenašam vam njegove pozdrave in želje za uspešno in plodno delo, s katerim bomo vsi skupaj prispevali k večji odpornosti naših držav na prihodnje krize. Toplo vas pozdravljam na 10. zasedanju pogodbenic Vodne konvencije v Sloveniji. Smo eno najbolj biotskih pestrih in vodnatih držav, kjer se stikajo Alpe, Panonska nižina, Dinarsko gorstvo, Jadransko morje. V Sloveniji smo v zadnjih letih na lastni koži občutili moč podnebnih sprememb. Pred 2 letoma smo imeli pri nas na Krasu izjemno sušo in največji gozdni požar v zgodovini države. Lani, avgusta, smo doživeli najbolj uničujoče 500-letne vode in ekstremne poplave. Poplave, suše, požari so očitno zdaj postali naša vsakdanjost. Letos je ciklon Boris razsajal po srednji in jugovzhodni Evropi, lani pa na Bavarskem. Amazonija trpi za hudo sušo. Na Portugalskem je gorelo. Afrika se sooča s pomanjkanjem vode. Nedavno so poplave prizadela celo saharsko Afriko. To je bil včeraj paradoks, očitno danes tudi je to realnost. Svet se sooča tudi z varnostno krizo. Priča smo več vojnim žariščem, spreminja se svet, ki smo ga poznali do sedaj. Smo na točki, ko mir in varnost nista več samoumevna. Krize, povezane z pomanjkanjem vode, poplavami in sušami, so lahko vir novih kriz in vojn. Na globalni ravni ne sodelujemo dovolj pri reševanju teh vprašanj. Od 153 držav, ki si delimo reke, jezera in vodonosnike, nas ima manj kot 20% sklenjene sporazume o sodelovanju na področju urejanja voda. To je zaskrbljujoč podatek. Sploh glede na vodne razmere v svetu. Na tem področju nas čaka še kar nekaj dela. Nujno je, da stanje s skupnimi napori izboljšamo in tako prispevamo k izvajanju cilja 6 agende Združenih narodov 2030. To pa je mogoče samo s tvornim sodelovanjem med državami. Spoštovani, zelo sem vesel, da je osrednja tema zasedanja Vodne konvencije v Ljubljani podnebna odpornost v mednarodnih porečjih in povodjih. Kot ste slišali, je Slovenija v zadnjih 2 letih doživela številne okoljske in podnebne krize. Zato se zavedamo, da je sodelovanje z državami za večjo odpornost nujna. Organizacija in gostiteljstvo tega zasedanja pa sta za nas čast in privilegij in seveda tudi odgovornost. Zato imamo več razlogov. Dolgoletno tradicijo in dobro razumevanje čezmejnega vodnega sodelovanja na vseh ravneh, dvostransko, regionalno, medregionalno in globalno. Zaradi lege in dejavnosti Slovenije smo ne le pogodbenica, temveč proaktivni izvajalec 4 regionalnih pomembnih konvencij povezanih z vodo. Alpska, Barcelonsko-mediteranska, Donavska, prav pa tako pa tudi Savska. Z izvajanjem Savskega okvirnega sporazuma že več kot 2 desetletji aktivno prispevamo k sodelovanju in stabilnosti na Balkanu. To je bil prvi skupen projekt po Daytonu na tem tlu in prvo sodelovanje politikov in stroke na tem delu. Zato je tako pomemben. Ponosni smo tudi na učinkovito delovanje zgodnjega opozarjanja pred poplavami na mednarodnem porečju Save, tako iz Avstrije, Madžarske, Hrvaške, Italije in vseh ostalih sosed v naši okoliščini. Hkrati smo močno vpeti v podnebno, vodno, mirovno in varnostno diplomacijo, ki je tudi pred prednostnimi nalogami slovenskega mandata v varnostnem svetu, katerega član smo v letih 24 in 25. Zaradi naše odgovornosti in odgovornosti do naših novih generacij smo pred 8 leti v Sloveniji zapisali pravico do pitne vode celo v ustavo. V čezmejnem vodnem sodelovanju so nujni tudi inovativni pristopi in uporaba sodobnih in še vedno cenovno dostopnih tehnologij. V ospredje mora biti dosegljivost teh tehnologij tudi ekonomsko manj razvitim državam, kjer so podnebne spremembe, suše in poplave še bolj izrazite. Tehnologije, kot so sateliti, umetna inteligenca, superračunalniki, so pomembni, ker prvič z veliko natančnostjo in v realnem času izvajajo nadzore stanja v porečjih in povodjih. Drugič, analizirajo vremenske vzorce in tako omogočajo bolj trajnostno upravljanje vodnih virov. Tretjič, omogočajo zaščito življenj, infrastrukture in premoženja. Omenjene tehnologije so tudi bistvene za dvig gospodarske konkurenčnosti tako Evrope kot tudi sveta. Vesel sem, da je Slovenija že nekaj let uspešna na področju razvoja in uvajanja sodobnih tehnologij. Dosežke vam bomo na tem dogodku tudi predstavili. Ekscelence, gospe in gospodje, preko 600 udeležencev iz 100 držav, različnih držav nas je danes tukaj. Verjetno največji število udeležencev kdajkoli na tej konferenciji. To nam daje upanje, da bomo v prihodnje še bolj tvorno sodelovali v čezmejnem trajnostnem urejanju voda. S tem bomo prispevali k miru in stabilnosti v posameznih regijah in celotnem svetu. Svet danes potrebuje mir bolj kot kadarkoli prej. Voda in mir sta tesno povezana. Povečati moramo odpornost voda na podnebne spremembe in delovati ozaveščeno, strokovno in odgovorno. Pri tem nas morata voditi zaupanje in sodelovanje, čeprav je mnogokrat to zelo težka naloga. Naša politična, družbena in strokovna odgovornost je izjemno velika. Ljudje od nas to pričakujejo. Delovati moramo z najboljšimi nameni in znanjem za ljudi in za naš planet. Za bolj enoten, vodno varen in podnebno odporen svet. To dolgujemo našim vodam, nam in zanamcem. Na koncu se v imenu vseh tukaj zahvaljujem Estoniji za njeno odlično delo in predsedovanje v zadnjih 3 letih. Pomagala je tudi pri pripravi zasedanja Vodne konvencije Združenih narodov v Ljubljani. Današnji dogodek je pomemben za našo prihodnost. Želim vam uspešno delo. Še enkrat, dobrodošli v Sloveniji. Srečno Vodna konvencija.
Thank you. Thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Jose Novak, Minister of Natural Resources and Spatial Planning for Slovenia, for inspiring words, and thank you also for your words for future to work effectively with transboundary waters, and hope that we are here to find effective methods to go ahead with new ideas and new plans for future. Thank you once again. So, I would like to follow our high-level panel with a video message by Mrs. Amina Mohamed, United Nations Deputy Secretary General. We hope to see the video. Please.
His Excellency Robert Golob, Prime Minister of Slovenia, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the Government of Slovenia and UNECE for hosting this crucial meeting, and to all participants from over 80 countries for your unwavering commitment to transboundary water cooperation. Water is our future. It is vital for life, development, and achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Yet water is increasingly under pressure from climate change, pollution, and growing demand, deepening inequalities and fueling conflicts. Transboundary cooperation is essential to addressing these challenges. For over 30 years, the Water Convention has provided a framework for collective action, proving that water can unite people across borders, fostering peace and sustainable development. But the task ahead requires us to do more. The climate crisis demands stronger cooperation, enhanced data sharing, technology transfer, and diplomatic efforts to prevent tensions and ensure water remains a force for peace and for prosperity. The United Nations is fully committed to supporting these efforts. Earlier this year, we launched the UN System-Wide Strategy for Water and Sanitation, a system-wide approach for UN entities to work collaboratively on water and sanitation, integrating these issues into broader development agendas and accelerating progress through financing data, capacity development, innovation and governance. And last month, the Secretary-General appointed Ms. Retno Marsudi as the UN Special Envoy on Water, who will advocate globally in the lead-up to the 2026 UN Water Conference. The Pact for the Future, adopted at the Summit of the Future, has also provided a renewed framework for advancing peace, human rights and sustainable development. The Pact, alongside its annexes, the Global Digital Compact and the Declaration on Future Generations, offers us strategic tools to accelerate action on the SDGs, including through trans-water cooperation. With 55 parties to the Convention, including 14 new members since 2016, there is growing recognition of the importance of this work. I would like to encourage all countries to join and fully implement our global water conventions as critical tools to achieve the SDGs and secure water resources for future generations. Let us work together to ensure transboundary waters are managed equitably and sustainably, promoting peace, prosperity and resilience for all. Thank you, and I wish you all a successful meeting.
I thank here that for that video message, Mrs. Amina Mohamed from United Nations as a Deputy Secretary General. And I would like to follow now with another high-level speech by Tatiana Molchan, Executive Secretary of the UNECE and the United Nations Under Secretary. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and a very warm welcome and good morning to everyone. Madam Vice President, Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It is really an honor and a privilege to welcome all of you at this 10th meeting of the parties to the Water Convention, and to welcome you in this beautiful city of Ljubljana. And just in the past few years, I realized that we have moved from a situation in which we struggled to make water more visible on the global policy dialogues. And today, we know that we are in a situation in which we are overwhelmed by water emergencies. And climate change, as we have been hearing from the previous speakers, is disrupting water systems at the global scale, and we are not prepared. in the bigger rivers in the world, such as the Amazon, run dry, and extreme floods are becoming more common and affecting millions of people, as it happened in Slovenia, but also now in the Sahel region and in Central America. We urgently need to improve water management and governance at all scales, deploying best available technologies globally and truly rethinking the way in which we use water in the economies and our daily life. And we need to do this together. We cannot do this in an isolated way in order to be successful. We need to use the transboundary water cooperation to elevate our ambitions, to increase our impact and really be efficient. Through the Sustainable Development Goals, and countries are really committed to cooperate on transboundary waters. And let me remind you that transboundary waters really make up to more than 60% of the water resources worldwide, so 60%. And the indicator, the specific indicator, the SDG 6.5.2, measures transboundary water cooperation by existing operational arrangements or agreements in shared rivers, lakes, and aquifers. However, today we only have 43 UN member states that have such an agreement in place, and it's only in case of the 90%, they are covering 90% of their resources. So this 43 countries, it's only 1/3 of the total of the countries that have shared transboundary water. So there is a lot of work for us to do, and we must act fast. The Water Convention has really increased and spurred progress greatly over the last 30 years, during which its intergovernmental platform has continued to grow. It now counts 55 members, parties, and we have 20 countries in the process of accession. At the same time, and this is very important, I would say it's even more important than these figures of the number of parties, we have 130 countries that take part in the activities, in the discussions on transboundary water, on the works of the Convention. And I would like particularly to welcome the 9 countries that joined the Convention in the last 3 years, especially those that came from other regions than UNICE region, and from Southern Africa, from Latin America, and the Middle East. And as I call upon countries from all regions of the world to accede to the Water Convention, I also encourage the existing parties, so those who are already members, to support this process, both for accession but also implementation. I would like to reflect only on a few important aspects relating to the implementation of the Convention or the achievement in the last years, and to bring a few examples which I find important to share with you. First, new partnerships have been built, and for example, between freshwater and ocean community as part of the work on source to sea. New actors were involved in transboundary cooperation, such as the private sector, and this is really important. And we have done this on the occasion of the Global Workshop on Funding and Financing Transboundary Cooperation in December last year. Secondly, the Convention helped to develop new agreements. So new agreements in place, as I've mentioned, it's a concrete target under SDGs 6.5.2. And for example, we have in the Luapula Basin, and we have 13 agreements were signed by parties to the Convention in the last 3 years, and some of which might be signed today. The Convention, along with the Transboundary Water Cooperation Coalition and others, helped to position transboundary cooperation higher at the global level at the 2023 UN Water Conference and within the first UN system-wide strategy on water and sanitation launched in July this year, which was mentioned by the DSG. On climate change, we have contributed to a critical breakthrough. For the first time, the importance of transboundary water cooperation is recognized in the decisions on the global stock take and global goal and adaptation from COP28 in Dubai last year. But obviously we cannot relax. That is not enough. I call upon you all to continue to advocate for the catalytic nature of transboundary cooperation in future global discussions, including the upcoming COP29, the 2026 UN Water Conference, and there are other international events to follow. The Water Convention also helped to mobilize funding for transboundary cooperation, and for example, by investments, concepts like those developed together by Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. Thanks to this approach, over the past 3 years, countries improved their capacity to implement the convention with concrete results, and they have have attracted $14 million were mobilized to really strengthen cooperation on groundwater in the we have seen in other regions in the Senegal-Mauritian aquifer, where these resources were pooled together. The matchmaking event yesterday, which was attended by over 120 participants and dedicated specifically to new parties, proves that there are huge needs, but also huge opportunities for support. At the event, parties and partners engage with each other through peer-to-peer discussions, twinning activities, and regional discussions. These activities make the convention a living instrument and a platform for exchange of real-world experience. This meeting of the parties also represents an important milestone to lay the ground for the future of the convention, in line with the new global nature. You will take, during these days, important decisions on the future of the convention. First of all, by adopting a new program for 2025-2027, which includes activities responding to different needs of different parties and which will advance the convention's works in areas of common importance, such as water quality or ecosystems and biodiversity. Key decisions will be taken in regard to the translation and interpretation when it concerns the work of the convention in all of the 6 UN official languages, so adding Arabic, Chinese and Spanish to be also working languages for the convention discussion. We also will have discussion on strengthening strategic partnerships with financial partners, such as the Global Environmental Facility and the World Bank, as all with regional organization. Finally, you will have the opportunity to take an important step forward in shaping the future financing of the Water Convention's work to make it more sustainable, a decision that has been nearly a decade in the process of making. And while I recognize, and we've been discussing with some of you already today and yesterday about the challenges of addressing financial matters in these uncertain times, I really encourage you and us all to approach this with boldness and foresight and some innovation. The risk we face, growing water scarcity, cross-border impacts and sectoral challenges, this really demands a solution, a well-resourced solution for an effective convention. And it's now more than ever that we need this robust mechanism to ensure the convention can continue its vital role in managing transboundary water risks. Before concluding, I would really like to congratulate and thank Estonia for the past 3-year chairmanship that carried so many achievements. I, of course, thank deeply our new chairs and our host of today, Slovenia, for embarking on this important role and for hosting us and this meeting today here. And I would like to finally thank all of the parties, partners, and all committed individuals who support the convention and whose vision and action guide us. Let me close by reiterating the importance of transboundary water cooperation. It is an act of empowerment. It is beneficial for those who step up and engage. It is also an act of trust. We acknowledge that we depend on each other and that we need each other's help to tackle water challenge. And finally, it's also an act of hope. It's an act of hope in the face of increasing uncertainty and instability that we can still do something very tangible to protect and value our most common resource for all and for the next generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, here once again, Tatiana Malchan, Executive Secretary of the UNEC and the United Nations Under-Secretary, for your inspiring words and for opening us the broad field of activities what we should take into account when we work with transboundary waters. Thank you once again. Here I would like to follow our agenda and also deliver the short speech on behalf of Vice Minister of Climate from Estonia. Sorry he was not able to be here, but I would like to deliver opening words here on behalf of her. Once again, yes, we already mentioned that we are here about water cooperation, about transborder water issues, and just looking back, what we did, how we carried out that work during the last 3 years, time period from previous meeting of the parties of the Water Convention, and how we plan our activities in future. We see a real impact of the globalization of the Convention. Estonia is proud that thanks to hard work together with our partners and member states, 9 additional countries have acceded to Water Convention during the last 3 years, and more than 20 countries are in process of accession. Estonia calls upon all states sharing the transboundary waters to join Water Convention and benefit from its legal framework, instruments and institutional platform. During our work period from 2022 to 2024, we focused on several integrated water resource management issues in transboundary water basins, as many of those still need additional attention and relevant analysis. Starting with the monitoring and assessment of transboundary water bodies, we learned the progress in covering both water quantity and quality aspect and assuring updated information exchange. Results of monitoring are important for different aspects of integrated water management. Sectoral and regional cooperation is important in that context. In some cases, we have gone deeper to find the common approaches for effective actions. For example, source-to-sea management as a concept offers possibilities to promote coordination between the sectors across the source-to-sea consistency and stimulates collaboration between upstream and downstream communities. We analyzed also different aspects related to water scarcity and the use of water resources. We understood that the need to promote conjunctive water management of surface water and groundwaters by increasing understanding of its benefits and supporting the transition from spontaneous to planned conjunctive use and the management in transboundary basins are important. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we see that during the last 3 years we have taken significant steps forward to add value to updated transboundary water management worldwide, and I wish you all to success on this path in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you once again, and with that I would like to go to our agenda, as you have that already in your hands, and so the proposal is to invite to adopt the agenda for today's meeting, for today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, for 3 days meeting. I take that silence as approval and our agenda is approved. That is going also as one of decisions. The first decision, the meeting of parties adopted the agenda of the 10th session as contains in the document EC/MP.WAT/74. Thank you. With that, the agenda is adopted. So we can go ahead with our agenda. And I see here the hand, please. Please, Ukraine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor now. I'd like to highlight some relevant to our agenda items. Today, we are on the verge of 1,000 days of full-scale armed aggression and over a decade of Russia's unprovoked and unjustified war against Ukraine. And this is not ordinary war. It is unfolding environmental catastrophe, and it shows no mercy to either our people and our nation. This is one of the largest wars in European history, leaving an irreversible mark on the planet. Russia's invasion of Ukraine resulted, among other things, in almost 5,300 cases and over $64 billion of environmental damage. Ukraine is investigating all these cases. Just last year, the world witnessed as Russia detonated the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant, a terrible war crime of ecocide, which encouraged Russia to commit further atrocities, like attempts to destroy the dam of Dnipro high power plant, the Dniester power plant, and Kaniv power plant. Since the full-scale invasion began, 1/3 of Ukraine's freshwater reserves have been destroyed, leaving over 880,000 people cut off from the centralized water supplies. Regrettably, Russia shows no sign of stopping its environmental crimes. Daily attacks on Ukraine's infrastructure and residential areas, causing significant human casualties, continue. Nature remains a silent victim of Russia's ecocide. Excellencies, dear colleagues, we strive to achieve justice. Justice means punishing Russia as a state and receiving compensation, as well as bringing to justice those involved in crimes against the environment, both from the command and control staff and the executors. Ukrainian side is investigating everything. There is a huge amount of work ahead, and Ukraine is determined to be one of the first countries in the world to bring the aggressor to justice precisely for the damage caused to the environment. We express deep gratitude for the support and cooperation from many of the parties present as we face these challenges. Dear participants, our top priority must be to protect the environment, and this begins with the restoring peace in the region. But peace will only be possible when Russia withdraws all their troops from the territory of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. Once again, Ukraine encourages to contribute to the implementation of the Ukraine's peace formula in order to ensure environmental security and address the environmental causes of Russia's war. The best we can do is to prove that we are not just declaring our values, including the environmental rule of law, but also ready to defend them together. I thank you. We would like this statement to be reflected in the report of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ukraine, for that statement. I see another statement here. Please, Russian Federation.
Hello, can you hear me now? Thank you. Honorable Mr. Chair, dear colleagues, I'm really sorry we have to use our right to response. So the Russian Federation decisively rejects the blatant accusations made by the Ukrainian delegation. We consider the Water Convention is not the right place for such discourse. I have what to answer on the matter, but I will not use this floor to go deep inside the matter. The Convention has proven itself to be a credible and depoliticized platform promoting constructive discussion of the most urgent water-related issues. The Russian Federation believes that all participants are committed to the principles and the goals of the Water Convention. So we urge to cease exploiting this floor as a platform for anti-Russian insults. We commit once again to cooperation with all the parties interested in this depoliticized dialogue on water agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Russian Federation, for your answer to that. Thank you. I see European Union. Please, the floor is yours.
Gentlemen, I have the honor to speak on behalf of the European Union in a brief reaction to the statements by Ukraine and Russia. The European Union would like to recall its continued support for Ukraine's independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders. Russia's war has caused massive air, water, land and soil pollution, as well as significant damage to ecosystems, with the risk of spillover into neighboring countries. As we have just heard from the Ukrainian delegate, the amount of environmental damages inflicted to Ukraine is in the orders of several billions of euros. Ukrainian officials have reported that Russia poisoned with chemical waste, including ammonia, magnesium and other poisonous nitrates, the same river which flows into the Desna River, resulting in more than 650 kilometers of waters polluted. The destruction of the Kakhovka Dam highlights the brutal consequences of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. It has caused catastrophic flooding, leading not just to loss of lives, but hectares of land submerged and damaged, putting the livelihoods of many at risk. The intentional targeting of civilian objects, including critical infrastructure, is a war crime. On the day the world is gathering in Cali, in Colombia, for the 16th Conference of the Parties to restore nature and protect biodiversity, and we are united here to transform increasingly water management into a vehicle for peace and prosperity, the European Union demands that the Russian Federation completely and unconditionally withdraw all its armed forces and military equipment from the entire territory of Ukraine and fully respects Ukraine's independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, European Union, for your statement here. Thank you once again. So, thank you. I see Russian Federation once again, please. The floor is yours.
Honorable Mr. Chair, I regret to take the floor again. But as a right response, I want to reject the accusations made by the European Union. Precisely, I would like to underline that we have the complete proofs that the destruction of Kakhovka Dam was made by the Ukrainian side. So the Ukrainian armed forces made precise bombing of the Kakhovka Dam, and they even in the interview to the Washington